I still got love for the streets. Hello. Viewer replay analysis backend and submit the replay either in the Discord or you can just invite me in game to the replay. Whatever you prefer. Or you can just upload it somewhere and post it in the chat. That's also possible. But for now, I'm gonna start with Blood Milan's replay. I think I should have this one already. Okay, it's this one. We're gonna have a look at Blood Milan's PVZ for the start. Alright, let's see. Sound should be fine. So here already I would recommend making the pylon, then mining 5 minerals, bringing them back and then making the gateway. It's gonna delay the gateway slightly, but even against 12 pools not really a big deal and you get like 5 extra minerals. It's just like a small thing that I would always do. Especially on maps like Atmosphere. Like I think most maps you can do it without delaying the gateway a whole lot. Okay, 20 next, 20 core. All good so far. Okay, Chron on the Adept. Second Chrono on the Adept. Should definitely Chrono boost the Nexus here. Now Bloodman said he was worried about the Ling flood. I'm not exactly sure why. It's like one thing you can do if you're worried about all-ins a little bit is simply, I mean like you did, go into the mineral line. I guess you saw a few drones missing. We want the vision here. Yeah, he doesn't have all the drones that he should for some reason. Like usually this adept shade, if you scout here, should have like a full mineral line, so 8 drones. There's only 6 here. I don't really know what this Zerg did to have less drones. Next 4 Zerglings. He just didn't use his lava. He just didn't use his lava, so it's a bit confusing, so I kinda get it. But to be fair, even then, I wouldn't worry about Link Flood, because really, if you open Stargate, you have Oracle, and as long as you have a full wall, there's just nothing a Link Flood can do. Like, you should be fine either way, even if you don't have a battery. But it's also not that big deal. Well, it doesn't make Queen in his natural. Yeah, he made it in the main base, which is actually not bad, because it's like a good response against double Adept. Because you pull from the main base the Queen, so you have two at the front, and then you remake it in the third Queen in the main base instead of the natural. It's a pretty common way of playing against it, because if you make it from the natural, you don't have the second Queen in time. And then if you Adept Shade in the main base, you don't have a Queen in the main base either, so that is pretty normal. Can I send a replay? And absolutely. You can either put it in the Discord, there's like a section with replays, where you can just put it in, or you can upload it somewhere and then just post a link in the chat. Or you can also invite me in game. It's not bad, but it can be confusing. Yeah, I guess so. It's like very common against double Adept though. But again, not really a big deal here. Okay, Oracle just scouts. Second Oracle on the way. The Chrono Boost use could be a bit better. Like you have a lot of Chrono Boost for no reason. It's like here you should definitely Chrono Boost the Nexus. Always, no matter what. Like even if you get all in, you should Chrono Boost. Because now you have a Chrono Boost left over on the main base. It's just like one Chrono Boost waste, or like not used. Which means you have one less probe, so it's a bit of a waste. To have so much Chrono Boost banked up. Okay, Robo Force Twilight. That's not too bad. I think. Okay, 3 adepts. Ah, we forgot Warp Gate here. Okay, a classic Showtime mistake as well. I'm not gonna say too much. It's a bit rough. Mortal, charge, +1, this is all good. I would delay the gas a little bit. I guess it's... oh, yeah, okay, it's okay. You didn't put it right in, that's fine. Is I would try to always prioritize mineral income first, and then as you have more probes, you can put them into the gas. So like, it was okay in the end, I think. But just like overall, you shouldn't take the gases too early. Okay, Templar Archive is all good. How many drones did we kill? 1? Okay, that's not ideal, but I think the Zerg looks pretty decent at defense. Okay, we set up a 4 base. Okay, you're getting like Roach all in there with 66 drones, which is kind of ass, honestly, but I guess it's still a bit scary. It's like in general, what I would recommend is try to scout the 4th base, or just try to scout for whatever comes out of the X with the Oracles. Like the Oracle should be scouting right now, because it could be a Spire, it could be Infestation, but it could be anything, so you need to use the Oracles a bit more actively on the front. Because if you see that many Roaches, you should already be pretty aware of what's going on. Like you don't make like 20 Roaches or whatever off of 66 drones unless you're getting all in. So that is just a bit about being a bit more active with the Oracles, and then if you saw this a bit earlier, literally making batteries and chrono boosting Immortal, and this is just garbage what a Zerg does. Let's see how this works. For Zerg? Probably not, right? Yeah, okay, it's a bit too much apparently, but Yeah, it's like literally you need like a couple more batteries. Like if you have like 2 more batteries, I think you defend this without any issue at all. And then you're just, I mean, living the life really. If you defend this and you have a bunch of immortal left over, there's very little Zerg can do. It's like they're gonna keep making Road Ravager and I don't know, it's not gonna work for the Zerg. It's even now, with good micro here on the immortal and the prism, you can still defend it. It sucks a bit we lost the oracles because now we don't have scouting. But this doesn't look too bad actually. Okay, yeah, I think making Kappa Sentries would be good here because you're just facing Roach Hydra. Okay. Yeah, so the difficulty here is you don't have scouting, right? So you don't know if there's like a million drones or whatever. It's a bit hard to say what's the best to do here because like if you had scouting and you see, okay, that guy has like no drones here or barely any. I mean, you can tell this is just from the main base pretty much. So the guy is still on like 66 drones basically, or like 70. You would just camp and do nothing. If a Zerg is on lair tag, you really don't need to do anything, you just camp. I guess maybe, I don't know, I think either you need to remake more Sentries so you have hallucination to scout, or maybe even remake an Oracle, or send the Observer across the map if you have one. So this is a bit of an issue with scouting here, but very understandable. But this is just not a good fight here. Like you need to be defensive with your 3 batteries, lost like a bunch of zealots here. Now you're probably just dying to the Roach Hydra. It's still actually not that bad. Yeah, you can definitely tell if you just stand defensively with what you have, there's just no way this is gonna kill you. Alright, so honestly not that much to really complain about. You need to use the chrono boost a little bit better. Because this is like, it doesn't seem like much, but honestly it's like 1 probe that you're just missing the entire time by not having the chrono boost used. Then the battery, I get it kind of. I wouldn't sweat it really, unless you're like 100% certain you're getting all in. I mean, you probably don't need it, especially if you go Oracle. It's not that big of a deal. And other than that, yeah, not much to say really. Use the Oracles a bit more actively, especially around the 6-minute mark. Like somewhere between 6 and 7 minutes is usually where the Zerg decides what it does. Whether that's Spire, some all-in, Swarm Hose, Hive, all that stuff. Just try to keep your oracles around and check the bases all the time with Revelation. Other than that, I think overall composition was good, build was good. Not much to say other than that. Quick question, I've run into a fair amount of Zergs who are rushing an overall job to harass with links. Very early troubles, I'm not entirely sure how to differentiate the build from a different lair tag rush. Rushing an overloaded job to harass with links. Honestly, it's not really a build I play a whole lot. I don't know if this is this for like a replay, I guess. From a different lair tag rush. Honestly, I've rarely played against this. I remember playing against this in some WASG against like some rather unknown Zerg who did this like a ling drop rush. Like, honestly, it depends a bit on. I would just sacrifice the adept maybe or something. I don't know. Like if the first adept sees a lair, maybe just get the battery in each mineral line or something. It's kind of hard to say. Like I don't really play against that. It's probably not very good though. It also depends what build you go for. But if you make like 1 battery per mineral line against 2 base Zerg, for example, I think you're like completely fine. Alright, what do we have? PVT. Keep vision on the edge of your base to defend link job. Yeah, that too. when you play against lair, like a quick lair, you need vision in your main base everywhere. That is like definitely true, because it could also be Nidus, for example. So vision everywhere. Then I would at least make like 3 units from the gateway, and hopefully if you have a Stargate, just make oracles and you should be good. And if you see the overlord morphing, like get batteries in both middle lines, or you need to scout with your depth, something like, it depends a lot what exactly it is, you know. If it's like 20 drones, Marslings or something, that would be very easy to scout, for example, but yeah. Can you analyze Robo first 2 base all in PVC? Robo first, I mean, yeah, sure. Thank you, Ruby, for the 3-month resub. Alright, let's watch the PVT first. Quite a few replays in the Discord as well. I will get to them eventually. Gotta be patient here. Cristiano, do you want the replay analyzed? Alright, PVT, let's see. So Terran doing normal stuff into Marine, core first into Nexus. All good so far, 21 pylon, I like it. Gas on time. Depth. I think the Stargate could be a bit earlier. I think if you want to play core first into Stargate, you should put a second worker. Okay, you did actually. I think you can put it even earlier. Like I would almost put like a second worker now already. Because otherwise the Stargate just feels so late. Like I know Zest, for example, he plays like, when he plays like core first into Stargate, he puts the second worker like very early. So like you could probably have like a little bit more gas income. Ready to send the replay? You can send it in the Discord. If you do ! Discord, you can join and you can send it in the replay section. Like I think you can make the Stargate before the second adept even. I think that's like it's okay what you do. I think but the Stargate could be a bit earlier. Okay, a factory. Stalker follow-up, so maybe a Twilight follow-up, I guess. Okay, you scouted everything, which is nice. Phoenix, okay, I like it. What's the Terran doing? Widowmine. I'm pretty sure why he opened Hellion and then kept it at home. It's a bit weird, but okay. Phoenix, gas, second gateway. I wouldn't chrono boost the Phoenix as much and maybe try to get an earlier Robo if you want to play like Phoenix into Colossus, because the Robo is quite late for this sort of opening. Like, you don't really need to chrono boost the Phoenix as much. Like, I would just start the first one and don't chrono boost it and then already make the Robo, for example. Like, you can get like a 330, 340 Robo with the Phoenix into Colossus or Phoenix into Robo kind of playstyle. Because the Widowmine job is not gonna come before like 430 anyway, and you don't need that many Phoenix. Like you need like 3 max for the job, unless it's like a, I don't know, a 4 Widowmine job, then maybe you need more. But in this case, don't put too much chrono boost on the Phoenix and just get the Robo a bit earlier. Maybe put another chrono boost in the Nexus even, and then like you should have enough Phoenix either way. I mean, it's not like a super big deal, but it's just like a small thing to get the Robo a bit earlier, get the Robo Bay earlier then. And you can see how late his medevac is, like it's Okay, he scouted the Phoenix now and pulls back into the corner. I guess that's good for Terran. So that will do first target, Chrono on third Phoenix, yeah. You don't want to Chrono boost it too much. It's not necessary, and you can just get your other stuff quicker, because Phoenix are very expensive, so they delay everything else. Okay, Robo Bay. Immortal is good. One Observer is also good. So far, a pretty good play, I think. More gateways. Okay, I mean... Violet Forge. This like actually reminds me a lot of our stats played. This is like very safe. 6 Phoenix. Really not much to say right now. You score the 30C, I guess. Okay, you see everything pretty much. It's like almost like a bit too safe, considering the Terran is like not doing anything, but I like it. Now here I would really get +1 for the ground units, not the armor. +1 attack instead, because like armor is not that important. It's really like getting damage on the Colossus, and like everything is a bit more important than the armor here. At least that's how we usually play it on high level. It's probably not like super terrible, but yeah. Okay, Widowmine Shop comes in. That's very unexpected, honestly. I probably wouldn't be watching the minimap either. One thing you can do is put some pylons here. Like if you don't have any vision, it's very easy to get caught off guard by stuff, so maybe just take like one probe, pylon, maybe even a pylon here. Just get some vision. But it's very difficult to spot like these random jobs. You know, pylon here is also good, or here. You need like a bit more map vision. It's a bit, you're like completely in the dark from the front and the Phoenix. The stats build, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I remember stats playing exactly like this. Except for the +1 armor. I'm pretty sure stats played attack upgrade, right? Now usually, if you want to play like stats, you will usually go a Templar Archive now as well. I'm not really sure why you made so many Stalker, by the way. It's like usually, if you play Phoenix Colossus, you want to go much more Zealot heavy. It's like the Stalker just are not necessary. They feel like the same role as the Phoenix, so... You really want to make almost like pure Zealot and then Archons. That's like how you play this. You make 3 Colossus, then you go into Immortal or Disruptor, both is viable. And like very Zealot heavy with Archons. Which would absolutely own this, by the way. If you had like more, if you have like no Stalker here, like 8 more Zealots and some 2 Archons or so, you roll over this very easily. He's like pure Marines, like his arm is complete trash. Leave the tanks, you can just aim with this, honestly. So just don't make the Stalker there, not necessarily at this point. Later on, if you go Disruptor and stuff like that, then you can make them, but... It's really like, Zealots are much better. A situation like going Immo after 3 Colossus better than Raptors, yeah, against tanks I would recommend going Immortal and Archons, it's better, I think. Now this is not really a scary tank count, but a better Terran might have like a lot more tanks if you... Like he goes double tank even. It's like really Archons, they tank so much against this sort of army. You lift the tanks and the Colossus just kill everything else. Like the Colossus will kill all the Marines. But this is really just a bit of a composition issue here. A very nasty position by the Terran. Couple Immortal, couple Zealots, and couple Archons. You're gonna roll over this. Thank you special for the raid, I appreciate it. Doing a little bit of viewer replay analysis right now. So yeah, like, your army just lacks the buffer, you know. It's like all the Stalker, they don't do anything. So like, you really just lack units to engage this sort of army, and you just need more Zealots and more Archons. That's all there is to it. More Zealots, more Archons and Immortal, and you should be fine. You should be really fine here. Also, I think you should get like a second Forge eventually, so you can go like 2-1. And again, like get +1 attack before the armor. here we come with the Archons. It's like this sort of army of like Colossus, Archon, Immortal is really strong as long as there are no ghosts. Like once ghosts come out and they MP all your shit, then yeah, it kind of starts to suck a little bit. But against this, yeah, the Archons are the Immortal and Colossus is amazing. Mortality, Immortals and Archons, yeah, pretty much. There's two ways you can play this. You can make 3 Colossus, I mean some even make 4, and then you can go into like double Robo Disruptor and DTs and just harass with DTs and you have a strong army with Disruptor. Or you go for Immortal, Archons, and just a bunch of Zealots. You can probably go Archons always, I think, even if you go Disruptor. It's just gonna make your DT follow-up less good if you invest a lot of gas into the Archons and the High Templar. It's like now I would go a bit... Actually, yeah, I would go a bit more Stalker heavy now. Which I think is what we're doing, and with the Disruptor. And I guess this sort of army, it's oftentimes good to not engage directly and try to run around. But you're doing a good job with the Disruptor, so it's kind of working. Blade Beacon... That's okay. Would you ever add like 4 extra... Would you ever add like extra 4 to 5 observer for map vision? And if yes, when? I think 4 or 5... Well, 5 is a bit much, but like 3 or 4 you can definitely add at some point. Its map vision really makes the whole matchup much easier. So if you have a bunch of observers in the map, it's always good. It's just, you need... Ooh, that's a painful move command here. It's like... I mean, you're probably losing this fight either way, but the move command made it like very difficult. It's like, you should probably just... I mean, you're in a tough spot, but if you have Disruptor, you, generally speaking, don't want to fight directly. You kind of just want to poke, maybe do, I don't know, Prism. Holy shit, what is this? This is like a... next level Prism defense. But yeah, like, Disruptor are not super amazing against like tanks in the direct fight usually. You have to be a bit careful, so just try to poke, do some run-bys, you know, DTs on the planetary, that kind of stuff, Prism in the main base. Because direct fights can be a bit tricky at times with Disruptor. Okay, I guess from this point it's pretty much over. So as I said, just follow up more with Archon Immortal, don't make as many Stalker, more Zealots, and go +1 attack. It just benefits the Colossus more, and even Zealots with +1 attack are quite nice. Oh my god, so laggy. Alright, yeah, I think not much else to say really. Alright, what else do we have? Guitar King. Alright, let's have a look. Transition to weapon EMP is out. Disruptor. It's eventually always one Disruptor. Disruptor is just the way to go in PvT. It's like the strongest AoE because it doesn't have a counter really. 3 minutes. What is this, a Cannon Rush? Okay, we have a Cannon Rush on Hardwire, which is a pretty difficult map for Cannon Rush defense. Okay, so now you should probably just make a Forge. I guess you go for the Voyager response perhaps? Let's see. Not really going for much of anything so far. This probe will need to be here to make a proxy Stargate. Yeah, like this response doesn't really work. It's like once you see triple pylon, you cancel the gateway and make a forge. Or if you don't want to go Forge, you need to proxy a Stargate. Those are the only two responses. I mean, maybe there's like a proxy Nexus sort of response, but I don't know, I wouldn't recommend that. I would go Forge or I would go proxy Stargate. Like here or, I don't know, here, like anywhere close. Like it has to be very close. So it depends what you want to do. I would recommend making a Forge. This is actually very easy to defend because he doesn't have a probe in your base right now. So once you see this, cancel Forge, maybe full wall with a pylon. And then you make a pylon here and a cannon and this is over. Like, or maybe make pylon here and cannon in the mineral line. It depends a bit exactly how he progresses eventually, but if you make a Forge in the cannon, you're fine. Cancel second gate, make Forge immediately, yeah. Do you full wall the ramp? Ideally, yes. Like, in this case, it would be better if you made the first gateway here. Because then you can cancel the second gateway and immediately full wall. You know, like, if you have your first gateway here. Because like this pylon is not really scary on this map, I think. Is it? Can you build a cannon here with this pylon? I'm not exactly sure. I mean, maybe you need to check this, but it, maybe. I don't want to give bad advice here, but it's like ideally, like if this pylon doesn't power a cannon on the low ground, you could now make it. You know, like if you have this, cancel full wall like this. This is like ideal, honestly, because like this pylon's gonna die eventually, but whatever, you're gonna make a pylon like behind the middle line, and probably repower eventually down here, and you make a cannon here, and really they cannot make progress anymore, and you're fine. It's like pretty straightforward in that case. Or you go proxy Stargate, as I said, it's also good. Don't often face this low ground stuff, but always die, yeah. I mean, Canada is tricky, but it's also tricky because there are different ones. Like usually, like the way he did it is pretty bad. Because you need to have, I think, at least a probe in the base immediately. Like in this case, you could have just made a full wall, and if they don't have even one probe in your base, so then it's just bad, I think. When I hold, what do I transition to? With the Forge, you have to be careful about. Usually, when they fail the cannon rush, they like to expand. Like either they expand or they do the Void Ray stuff, where like they proxy a Stargate and batteries and stuff, and they go for the Void Ray all in. I don't know if that's any good still, considering the Void Ray nerf and the battery nerf, but if they go for the Void Ray stuff, you just want your own Stargate. I think that's the best and the most reliable. If they don't do that, probably block their base just to make sure they don't get it down, because sometimes they will make a Nexus and then make a bunch of cannons in front, and it kind of sucks a bit sometimes. I think you just keep your probe on their side of the map and scout what they do, and then you react. Like you can sometimes just kill them with like a 3-gate robo maybe. The Void Rush is pretty bad now. Okay, so I mean if they do this, and you can probably even like 3-gate or whatever. Like I think either your own Void Rays or go for like a 3 or 4-gate defensively could be good too. And yeah, just make sure they don't get the Nexus down and scout what they do and then just react. Like you should be ahead a little bit, no matter what they do. Alright, next one. Yo-yo. I lost the Void 2 days ago. Like it's probably not bad, right? Because, I mean, I don't know. Can't say, I haven't faced it in a long time. But considering batteries have half the energy and voyages cost more, and I don't know. Alright. Are you watching PBT from Yo-Yo? Let's see. Terran is playing pretty standard into Reaper. We have, what is this? Nexus into Core, okay. 21 gas, Island, I like it, all good so far. Okay, we don't lose the probe, that's nice. The Twilight could be quicker here. I feel like you're a bit light on the gas. Yeah, I don't think you need to... What happened here? Aren't you missing a probe or something? Okay. Oh, it's just this one, I guess. I mean, okay, you play it very safe against like bunker behind the middle line. But if you do this, just put like more guys in gas. Like just put like at least one for this one as a replacement in. Because if you go core into Nexus, you have extra gas and you can make the Twilight usually now already, I think. Like you're missing quite a bit of gas for really not much of a reason. There's a big part, like a big advantage of going for this Nexus into core is that you have more gas, so you can get quick attack. Like if you want to play like this, you might as well just go core into Nexus. Then you have this like it's a bit late. Is all I'm saying. Like I think you can make the Twilight before the second unit even. And then you can have Blink at 4:30, which is like the perfect timing for the Widowmine drop, and you can shut it down super hard. Terran going Widowmine drop. Okay, we get the Reaper. Probably want to get the Robo. Yeah, like this Blink is just very, very late. Okay, we skip the Robo. I would recommend just making the Robo. It's just, I don't know, if they go for like Widowmine drop with Cloak and you have only for Robo, it's just so bad. It's like, for example, if you play the build correctly, you have Blink now. Like your Blink is still 40 seconds away, or like 30 with Chrono Boost. So like you can see the difference. Like usually you can have like 6 Stalker, I think, like 5, 6 Stalker, maybe even 7. I don't know, something like that, I don't know exactly, but you should have Blink now, and then if they go for Widowmine drop after Reaper opening, it usually hits at 4:30. You have Blink with like this amount of Stalker, Blink on top of the Medivac, it dies, pull the probes, clean out the Widowmines, and like you're in a fantastic spot. It's really like having Blink on time for the Widowmine drop makes a big difference. Double Forge is a bit greedy, especially with 4 gases as well. So, I would recommend 1 Forge and 3 gases only. But let's see, because like 4 gases is usually when you play Templar Archive or maybe Colossus. It's just a bit too much gas for the Zealot follow-up. Now you can see you have 500 gas, just not used for anything. If you have like 1 less gas here, I mean you mind, how much is in the gas? 250? You would have 200 less gas, which is like a bit more reasonable, right? You would have like 160 or so. So you would just have more minerals and it's just a bit better. Okay, now we go into Temple Archive, so... It's just... Yeah, I wouldn't recommend playing it, this is just a bit too much at the same time. It's like, either you go 4 gases and like Quickstorm, or you play 3 gases, and you can play Double Forge, it's a bit on the greedy side though. It's like probably 1 Forge is a bit more solid, like 1 Forge and 3 gases, then you go... somewhere between like 50 and 55 probes, you make all the gateways, and then you just make a full mineral line here. And usually if you play like this, you want to have a prism on the map. It's like how you always play this is, well, with Double Forge is probably pushing it, but with 1 Forge you would have a prism on the map, warp 4 zealots in, you wait for the turret to move out, you drop the 4 zealots, warp in, I don't know, 5 zealots or so, and you hold it home with sentries and batteries. That's like a very difficult playstyle for a Terran to play against and just very strong overall. Not that difficult to execute. So I would probably recommend that. What you do is really, really too much, I think. Double Forge, 4 gases, and Templar Archive, it's a bit much. But let's see. I mean, if you die to this push, then yeah, definitely, you know why. Also, you always want 1 sentry. Like Guardianship makes a big difference against Terran. It's usually with this playstyle you would have like 3 sentries, I would say. And no Archons, to be fair, but yeah. Yeah, it's like... I think if you play like this, you really need... some insane early game or so. Because it's just too much at the same time. You have to kind of pick what you want. So like, if you play double forge, stay on 3 gases, no Templar Archive, and really hit your warping cycles and try to defend somehow with like batteries and stuff, it's probably not impossible. I would recommend 1 forge, Prism on the map. I think that's probably very difficult to play for the Terran on this level. Or you don't make any forges, 4 gases, and quick Templar Archive for Storm, which is like the most popular playstyle at high level, I think, with the Blink follow-up. Yeah, just a bit too greedy, I think. Just a little bit greedy. Flooring 1200 minerals during the push, so I thought maybe if I get the gates earlier it works, but I like the Prism. Yeah, the thing is, I don't think you can get the gates much earlier because you're just investing so much into other stuff already. Especially with the 4 gases and stuff, so yeah. Just have to cut back a little bit on the greed, then you should be good. Let's see, what's next? Parubi, let's see. Against the Maga, okay. Okay, PVC against the Maga. Yeah, this is what I meant earlier in the Blue Line replay. Just get the 5 minerals, bring it back, and make the gateway. It's like pretty good timing still. It's like a, I mean, it's a very small difference for 5 minerals, but you might as well. Okay, little probe harassment. That, Stargate, like it. Okay, a little bit of scouting. Okay, just faking. I would like take this space on Ashes. It's like this just feels like very far away, I think. It's like this is a bit better in my opinion on Ashes. Like I'm kind of a fan of taking linear bases, but I think on Ashes taking this and then this just feels a bit more natural to me. But it's, I mean, it's probably preference, not a big deal. Okay, Oracles. I wouldn't really go for the battery that early. I don't think you need it that early. Because like if you have like 2 adepts, you just put them in between the minerals, maybe here. I think like usually I put the pylon like here, so you have a bit of a wall for the, or like a gap for the adepts to stand in. Like never put them out in the open like this. It's like, this is like a very good spot here because you can be attacked by 2 Zerglings maybe max. You put it here and then, I don't know, somewhere here. Just make it a bit safer, and I don't think you need the battery that early, you can get the gases earlier. Yeah, it's like a small optimization, but not a big deal, I guess. Okay, couple worker. Right, pretty good so far. The marker 27 out of 6 in here. A little bit of mess up. Forged Twilight, maybe Blink, I guess. Okay, Stalker. Maybe the hero playstyle. Okay, so some Stalker. Got a probe trapped, that sucks. She's gonna play Swarm Host. Can we take a Nexus? I guess, yeah, this is fine. Like, personally, I like it with a Robo. I feel like just not making the Robo is a bit of a waste. But it's very difficult to put any pressure on if you don't have a Robo. At least with the Blink Stalker, I think. I feel like you wanna attack a bit earlier. I don't know. It feels like a little bit late to move out at like 7 minutes. Let's see. I think the Twilight... Okay, the timing for the Twilight and stuff is good, I think. You can probably put like a bit more chrono boost on the Twilight and try to move out a little bit earlier, I would say. Like, maybe skip a couple of the gateways, like maybe those two gateways are not necessary yet. And then just try to move out a bit earlier, like, even if it's just 10 Stalker with that triple Oracle, you can't really die. So I feel like you could probably hit like 30 seconds earlier. Although this is fine, like the Maga actually played it overly safe, like he's 66 drones making mass roaches, so this is actually totally fine. Probably wouldn't have done much anyway. I would just chrono boost this non-stop, I think. Although again, it depends what you want to do. Like if you want to move out quickly, which I think is like the best, because otherwise, like the Maga could have just made 80 drones here, I think. If you attack at like, what was it, like 710, I think Zerg can easily have 80 drones at this point. And then go into units and he will be completely fine. Like in this case, he's just, like he's 18 roads already and there's, I mean, the units are not even threatening anything yet, so. Because if you hit that late, like it's okay, if you just want to deny creep and stuff, it's just, I think it's just too easy for Zerg to get away with too much, and that's kind of not good if you play this playstyle. Charge, okay, I mean other than that it's pretty good. It's like, again, I would make a Robo personally, but I guess like Hero plays without it, so. It's probably fine either way. Okay, make Zealots. Just like, I feel like you're not gonna be able to do much against what the Maga does here. You probably wanna have an Oracle scout what is going on. Because like you're completely in the dark here, and he's going Lurker. He's going Viper already for some reason. I think just parking one of the Oracles here would be very good. If you just see, like if you see this, you can, I don't know, maybe put on more pressure earlier or something. I'm not exactly sure. Like usually Zergs don't go for Hive and Lurker like this. Okay, kill a couple Lurker. Because like now, I don't really see how what you can do with this playstyle. It's like you have a shit ton of Zealots, but you can't really push into the Lurker, I think. Yeah, they don't get anything done, right? Oh, let's try it. Decent against this group, I suppose. It's like this playstyle is like very momentum based, and if you hit late with the Stalker already and don't get much done, and I mean how many drones do you get? Also not that many. It's like you need to kill or pressure the Zerg a lot for this to be any good, I think. For example, there's a build that I recently tried a bit. I copied it from Trigger, I think, where you make only 2 Oracles and you go for like a 4-minute Twilight, and then you can hit the Zerg with like 10 Stalker at 6 minutes or so, which is just very annoying timing for the Zerg because they like barely get to 66 drones and then they have to make units already to deal with the Stalker. I think if you do like a delayed sort of pressure, you probably wanna do a bigger Stalker attack with a Robo and a Prism. Like you just get like more pressure. Thank you Atrion for the 5-month resub. Damn. So like, I think like you're already in trouble just because your pressure is not really threatening much. And you also didn't get a lot of drones with the Oracles. Like 3 drones is very little, I think, for triple Oracle. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you need to do like the build a little bit differently. Maybe it's also not the best map to play this on because it's just freaking glittering ashes. It's so difficult to get across the map. Would you mind linking a replay of you playing the build in the Discord? Yeah, I think I have one against Lambo that I played yesterday. So yeah, it's just like I think you lacked a bit of pressure, and like what the Maga did is also quite good against it, I think. I can show you. Was it yesterday? think it was yesterday. Yeah, like you can watch like the early game from this game here. Right, I also played against the laser. It's not the same build order as this one here. But I played against the laser, it's a bit greedy, but it's very strong if you get away with it. Like this is 2 oracles with a quick twilight, and then you just do the stalker warp-ins the same way you did, but you move out very early. Because like what you did is kind of like a hybrid between the 2 builds. The 2 builds are good in my opinion, and they just didn't really work out, I think. The early game you can do, I mean, 2 adepts if you want. I think I played adept stalker here into 2 oracles. I haven't really played this much, to be honest. I just wanted to try it, so I'm not gonna promise this build is amazing or anything, but just like to give an idea. Like, I also forgot that forge. Like usually you need a forge now as well, I think, but it still works. It still works. So yeah, so I have 5 stalker already, then I warp in 4 more with the gateways finishing up. And like you can see how early I have the pressure. Now this is Curious Minds, to be fair, so it's not quite the same as Filtering Ashes, but like I'm here in front of the Zerg base at like 550. And you can see Lambo, he got to 66 zones now, he has like 3 more on the way. He's literally 11 links. Like, he doesn't have anything. So you can see the difference between this and hitting at 7 minutes with like, I don't know, 14 stalker. Zerg already has like everything they want at this point. Like this isn't too like threatening for the Zerg either, but you do have some pressure here. And then off of this, you will be able to do a much better follow-up because you just like threaten the Zerg more, so they can attack up as easily. They need to make units early on. You have better eco and all this stuff. Yeah. It's just like the style is super momentum based, and if you lack the pressure in the mid game already, then it's not gonna work. How many gates do you have there? I had 4 gateways to make the 9 stalker. I think I made like a couple more stalker even. And then you go 6 gates into 4th base. I think, yeah, 6 gates into 4th base, and then you add like 2 more gates to 8 gates, I think. As I don't have this build like 100% down yet, so. But something along those lines. Alright, Cristiano. Let's see if I can give you some advice, I'm not sure. Okay, against Lambo. That's a high level match here. So you go with all the pressure of full creed? What do you mean? The last build was just the last build, the build I played against Lambo is actually not very greedy, I think. Because you do have consistent unit production. The one I played against the Laser was kind of greedy because I went like Twilight, Forge, Robo. And no unit production, like bunch of gateways, and then you pressure. It dies to like taxi and stuff, so. I think if you want the more solid build, you probably should play the one with the quicker Twilight and the double Oracle. If you want that build that's fucking good, if you get away with it, then go with the one I played against the Laser, I think. Skate score become more common with Zerg again. Honestly, I would recommend to just block. If you're like 6k or lower. It's like I think higher level Zergs have kind of figured out a good way to play against blocking. And even then, I think blocking is good. It depends a bit what you do. Like, blocking is a little bit worse for Protoss in terms of mining time lost. But at the same time, your first adept or 2 are much more annoying. And if you can find like any damage at adepts early on, it's already worth to block. So, and it's very uncomfortable for the Zerg. So I think if you're like lower than 6k, you should just block. Honestly, that more than often than not, I think the Zerg will have a very bad response and you get ahead. And this is coming from someone who usually doesn't block, but you know, I think blocking is good. He's only bad at playing against Rogue, yeah, maybe. It's like either is fine, really. Like, yeah. You know, it's like there's sometimes a bit of a discussion between like blocking and not blocking, what is better, what is worse. Like Zergs are usually, oh, you should always block. Then I always said, I'm not convinced blocking is that good even. It doesn't matter that much, really. The only time I think you should absolutely block is if you do a glaive build. Like if you do a 4-gate glaive and you don't block, then you might as well just not play the build, honestly. Anyway, let's watch this game here. Cristiano versus Lambo. 2 adepts into Stargate. Big fan of that opening. Stalker. He also loses mind time with Jones transfer, yeah. Yeah, like from the games I watch, Zerg usually has between 4 to 6 drones going from the main base to the third base instead to the natural. And depending on the map, you lose between 5 to 7 minerals for every drone. So if it's like 6 drones and it's a bad map that's far away, you lose like, what is it, 40 minerals, 42. I think Protoss loses 50 minerals from scouting early. But later on, Zerg can rally the main base to the natural instead of having to rally the main base to the third base, so they gain the mineral lost in the early game back. And sometimes they get even more out of it. So it's like Zerg loses a little bit less in the Protoss early on, but they gain it back. It's really the only annoying thing for Zerg is the first Adapter 2. Like, I think the first Adapter 2 are much stronger against the hatchery block than if you don't do it. Okay, we kill like what, 2 drones? 3 drones. Okay, I like it. Rich enlightened Protoss. Absolutely enlightened, man. Okay. What do we do here? Gas, just in time. You know, like I never felt particularly strongly about blocking or not blocking, but I feel like the Zerg players they're always like so obsessed with like, I don't know, Protoss having to block and like how it's so much better and stuff. I was just never convinced by that. Twilight Forge for gateways. What do we do, Blink? Honestly, I already don't like this. I feel like if you play Blink like this, it just sucks, in my opinion, with the Sentries. It's like probably safer than not making the Sentries, but it just doesn't feel good to me. It's like I feel like the Blink opening is much better if you don't make Sentries and you just make like pure Stalker. At least that's how it feels to me. Because you don't need the gas, like 6 gas, Blink always feels ass to me. I feel like the 4 gas, Blink is just so much nicer. Because like surely this doesn't do anything, right? Let's see. Because the thing is like he's already in 80 drones, right? So like he already has everything he wants. And you probably don't do anything here, right? Yeah, there's no way you get through this, and then you have to go like Robo Bay and second Robo, and you don't have a fourth base, and I don't know, it looks ass to me. And like, I really think if you play Blink Stalker, you just don't make the Sentries. Maybe 1 Sentry or 2 max, I think, like 2 Sentries maybe. But you should just go very Stalker, because the Sentries don't even have any purpose, I think. Because force will just get destroyed easily, right? Want to use Sentries for force fields for the push, but I don't know, he can make 80 drones and defend, yeah. It's like, if Zerg can make 80 drones and defend, then you know it's just not good, right? Like, I think... It's like, I always hated Blink Stalker openings, because they look like this, right? You make Sentries, you attack, the Zerg defends, and then you're like, fuck, what do I do now? It's like, really, like, the only time... I only recently started to like Blink Stalker opening because of the way Hero plays it, where you don't make a lot of Sentries. I think Hero makes like maybe 1 or 2. Which I think is better with like 0. Like 0 sentries, maybe even 3 gas only, and you just take a quick fort base and play hero style. With the zealot stuff. It feels like very nice for the blink compared to this. Like if you play like this, you have to go like Robo and Robo Bay, right? And then go like this Raptor. I don't know, I always hated the playstyle. Yeah, hero takes like 4 best very quickly. Because now you're just so far behind economically, he's going high, he's just like, you have nothing that's good for you here. The pressure did nothing. So, like, I really think if you want to play Blink, make no sentries. And stay on 4 gases and then take 4th base. Like, if you want to go like... If you don't want to go for the 4 gas forever, I guess you can take the gases after the 4th base maybe. Go for Robo Bay and stuff. But like this is just... It's just so weak, I think. Because if you do the same build on 4 gases... It's like... I've seen Zerg on like 70 Jones die to Blink Stalker. Blink Stalker all in. Whereas with the Sentries, it's just it hits so late, it's not really threatening because they have Ravager killing the destroying the force fields and stuff. It just, I don't know, it doesn't seem good to me. And then from here, yeah, I mean you're just playing against Lurker already, still on Stalker. Maybe I'm wrong, but Sentries kind of slow down your army now. You can just go in and blink out. Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's just not harder than so many hits. Like Sentries are just not very good anymore. It's like the only time Sentries are good is if the Zerg plays, I don't know, +1 melee, has like shit ton of Zerglings and no Ravager. Like a Zergling plays like Ling, I don't know, +1 melee, Ling, Bane into Hydra or some shit. And then yeah, by all means make Sentries, but... I think in this case just make no sentries and pure Stalker and then just have the oracles on top of your army. They can never chase you anyway. So I don't know. I think this game you just lost already after choosing the build order. Because unless, like, maybe if you do a shit ton of damage to the oracles you can do something, but I don't think otherwise it's good. One of those Zergs who died to Blink Stock with 80 worker. I mean, I do too, man. I do too. But good Zergs like Lambo, they just won't die to this. Especially not on Atmosphere. Like pushing here, for example, is also not very good, I think. It's like pushing from here maybe is already better. Because here you're just running into a big freaking concave through a choke point. There's gonna be biles and stuff, which is not a good attack point anyway. Like, I think attacking from here is probably better, but even then, I mean... I don't think you would do much with the sentries and stuff. You watch the big CSGO team too? Not really. Like I don't watch CSGO in general. Like very rarely I watch some Counter-Strike. Yeah, I think it's just the opening. Yeah, no sentries is better. Let's see. Do we have more? 2 more, okay. Let's see, next game. Okay, I guess we're looking at Yumeko here. Nexus first. I'm a big Nexus first hater, but let's see. Let's see. Da 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 da. This is the Robo replay. Robo image I took from a Russian player. Okay. Robo Bay Forge. Honestly, last time I played a Nexus first build was probably like in 2016 or so. I'm not an expert on that. What is this? A Zerg drop? What do we do? One disruptor drop? It's like, does the +1 actually do anything for the push? That's what I'm always wondering. Like Nexus feels just ass, honestly. It's like, it's not even much more equal, I think. It's maybe like 2 more probes for like way delayed tech, and you don't have any adapt pressure at all, and I don't know, I hate it. I mean, it looks like the way you should play. 1 Colossus, 2 Disruptor, 1 Immortal. Do you have the Immortal even usually? I don't think so. I'm not sure I can give much optimization for the build because I just never play Nexus first. Like, I mean, I could go like very into detail and watch like everything exactly, but I don't know. I haven't really played the, like when there's the usual all-in hit, like the stuff that Zone does a lot and Chop every now and then. Like you can probably compare it to their build. Like I only don't have the timings in my head. I haven't played this build in forever because I think it's meh. Kinda meh. What timing do we get the Robo, for example, with the Nexus first? It's like, it just feels like so late, you know? If I watch this and I see a Robo at... It's like, you know, the issue already is you make the Robo on the wall. It's like, that's already so easy for a Zerg. Like, you see this and you literally, okay, this is like a Robo opening, maybe a Twilight, worst case. Like, this already makes it super easy for the Zerg. Compared to if you play a normal opening, or like Gate, Nexus, and so on. You make the Robo in the main base, then you already have a mind game going on with the Zerg, because you make an Adept and a Stalker maybe, they cannot scout what's going on. You can fake a Clave build, which is very important if you play this double, or the double Disruptor job into Colossal in, because the only reason this is any good is because Zerg is worried about Clave. If they're not worried about Clave, and they see it's a Robo opening, the only thing they're worried about is maybe an Immortal all-in. But even that is not super amazing. And they can just make a shit ton of drones and you will never win with this build. It's like, it only works if you have the mind game of it being a Clave build. Otherwise it just sucks. Like Clave or DT, I mean either could be a threat for the Zerg. If that mind game does next, it's just ass. Like, honestly, I would just copy what Sound does. Like, it's gonna be much better than this already. Like, if I was a Zerg and that's all this, I would just think, yeah, it's probably some, yeah, something along this line, like Disruptor job into Colossus or Immortal, and it's just very easy to play against, I think. How they're pretending to be Clave? Well, play a normal opening with like Gate in the Nexus, and then you move out with 4 Adepts. Just, you make it look like the Clave build, basically. You move out with 4 Adepts and a Prism, but then you don't actually warp in Adepts, right? You just have the 4 Adepts. Zerg will make a bunch of Zerglings, maybe Roaches, and then you do Disruptor. You have the Disruptor at home, you get Prism Speed, and then you actually go with the Disruptor. And yeah, because Zerg cannot drone up that much in that case, because they have to be scared of DTs and also Clave. And then that's the only reason this build is any good. If you don't play it with a mind game, it's just really bad. It's good in PvZ right now, Oracle into Blink openings, yeah. I mean, any Oracle opening is good, I think. Oracle into Blink, like the hero stuff with 4 gas, I think is pretty decent. You can also just play Oracle into like Zealot, Archon, Immortal, that kind of stuff is also very good, I think. Alright, what else do we have? Save on. Let's see. PvT versus Cars. There's only something like this in GSL last year. Like it's a pretty common build for the Korean pros. On Curious Minds, they like it building like Trap and Zaun, and probably here like a bunch of the Koreans play the Shapter stuff. This always triggers me when I see that. It's like 3 on 1 mineral patch, not even the close one. Like this is the like you have to pay attention. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I'm just saying like never have 3 at the beginning because it just loses you a couple minerals for no reason. Okay, what is this? I think I already hate this, to be honest. Like this is like very expensive against Terran to 14 pylon, scout, second probe down, make the gateway, probe back into the main base. Like this is very expensive. I would just scout after the gateway, or like directly scout after the gateway to the Terran base, or scout around your base. That's actually more common. If you play low ground gateway, usually you scout like the proxy spots. Like, you know, maybe you can go down here and then here or something, because I mean, I don't know, maybe you can have a somewhat decent response, but usually the reason why low ground gateway is a bit shitty against Terran is when they proxy Reaper, and you have to move units all the way to the main base, and I don't know. It's like a proxy here, I would just fucking I would just not be very happy. Okay. I mean, again, like if you like this, to play like this, I mean, by all means do it, but it's just probably not that amazing. Okay, battery. This is all good. Want to kill CC building this? Yeah, I mean, it's fine to do a low ground gateway. I would just recommend not sending 2 probes. You're not making a probe to the pylon, then scout, then second probe down to make the gateway. It's just like you lose a bunch of mining time. It's probably better just scout after the gateway and check for proxies, or you can also just scout straight if you're not too worried about proxy. It's like local gateway is very good in general, I think, because it's also good against eBay block and that stuff. You can put in some pressure. It's not bad at all. Like I like local gateway. Just the 2 probe early game is a bit I don't know, costly. What do we do? Stargate into Robo. What happened here with the Stargate? How come we didn't make a Stargate unit? You missed the Reaper with the probes, did I? Is that already? Oh. What? What happened here? Oh, okay. Nice. Very expensive as well, though. But probably worth it. I will kill the Reaper as well, if I could, like that. Like, the opening was pretty good, I think. Like, you killed 2 SCVs, saved the Adept, killed the Reaper. It's really a pretty successful opening. I don't really understand why we don't make a Stargate unit. Like, if you open Stargate, you probably want to use it. It seems, like you seem like worried about something, but I'm not exactly sure what that is. Because if you just make the Oracle, even if they go Hellions, you're gonna be fine because you have the Oracle. It's like we're just playing this a bit overly safe. Because now you don't have the Phoenix to deal with this. Okay, I mean, kind of, yeah. Just make an Oracle, honestly. I'm not exactly sure what you were worried about here. It's like if you make an Oracle now, it's gonna be like, did you see? Like if you see like a reactor Hellion, even then, just making the Oracle would be better. I think your Stargate is a bit late as well, though. Yeah, your Stargate is very, very late. Like 2:30 latest, I think you should have a Stargate, even with this sort of opening. And then just make the Oracle, honestly. It's, even against Hellions, you have the Oracle out, you should be fine. It's like, this is just overly safe for no reason. Can I ask a new question about how and when to scout in PvT? Like how to tell if they go for mine, drop, or Hellions or other openings with minimal informations? Well, you can't really tell exactly what their build is unless you get lucky and their depth gets in. Unless you open Stargate. If you open Stargate, like a quick Stargate, not like this, the Oracle will see what it is before it hits you. But if you open Blink, for example, you won't know what the opening is. Robo would also see the opening before it hits, you, so it's the only scouting at the beginning is the Adept. Adept across the map, you can shade in, maybe you can read something into the SCV count, or I don't know. If you see like depots early on, you already know it's not a 3CC, for example, you can scout what's on top of the ramp, right? Like, is it a factory for reactor? It's just a barracks? Is it a reactor? Is it a tech lab? That kind of stuff. But other than that, you have to rely on your tech eventually, like Stargate's gonna see what's going on, or Observer. Other than that, you don't have any scouting. Actually, Sentry could also be a scout, but that is a bit rare. Yeah, if they do 3 Rex, they have more SCVs on the low ground because they play with 1 gas. Same is true for 3CC, for example. It's not super reliable. I had games where they play 1-1-1 and they have 1 gas and more SCVs on the low ground, so it's not always the tell, but it can be a tell. There are also Terrans who keep the SCVs in the main base. Like I think Bjan for a long time did this, where he just oversaturates the main base, so you cannot scout the extra SCVs in natural and know that it's a 3X, for example, or 3CC or whatever. Okay, Colossus, I like it. Probably would make Phoenix, but I guess since there are no tanks, making Stalk is okay. It's like usually when you play Stargate into Robo, you would do Phoenix Colossus. It's probably a better follow-up than this, because you're just making upgradeless gateway units and there are no upgrades inside either. And it's gonna take these 2 minutes for Blink, so I don't know, I'm not a massive fan, but I guess it's okay. It's just a question, how do you deal with this? You saw with the Phoenix, I guess. Like, this is already very difficult now, because you just don't have a Blink. You have no mobility, you have no Phoenix, so it's just chops are gonna be freaking annoying with the way you play. Normally I do more Phoenix, but I was scared. Of what exactly were you scared? Of the push? It's like, really, if you play Phoenix Colossus, the first push is not super scary. Although a Raven is mildly annoying, to say the least. It's the way you play against Raven is usually you force out the Matrix and then you force fill them off and then you back off. Basically what you did. Yeah, basically like this. And then you're fine. Like, usually the first push is very marine heavy and Phoenix Colossus doesn't struggle much versus that kind of stuff. So it's really just your follow-up is just not great. Like either go Phoenix, or like definitely go Phoenix, I think, if you play like this. I think if you wanna do I don't know, like if you wanna do like no Phoenix, then you would probably have to get like a quicker Twilight or something, because this is just too late. Like by the time you have Blink, it's gonna be like freaking 11 minutes in the game or so. Yeah, like Phoenix and Charge. You should have like 5 Phoenix, I think. Like 5 Phoenix, and don't make that many Stalker in that case. If you make Phoenix, don't make them any Stalker. Because without Blink, without Phoenix, you're just gonna struggle versus Shock so much. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Just the follow-up needs to be different. And yeah, make a Oracle for the love of God. Like if you make a Stargate, make an Oracle. Don't have it idle for a minute and then make an Oracle. It's gonna be a lot less good. Alright, how many more do we have? Reina with the freaking 1100 people raid. Thank you very much, Reina. Just watching some Fury replays right now. Alright, what do I have? Cobblestone. Let's see. Why isn't it loading? Is the replay bugged or something? Oh no, here we go. Okay, PVZ. Let's see it. Okay, what is this Zerg up to? Gonna go for a head tray block. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, this is a good response, I think. Instantly pulling like 5-6 probes is pretty much what I would do as well, I think. Perfect response, actually, if you ask me. Do you need zealots with this? It's been such a long time since I've been hatchery blocked. I remember 5 probes being the number you want. You pull in, you needed 5 probes. I think you need to make a zealot though. I might be wrong, but I think you want to make a zealot. But let's see, maybe it's fine. No, I think it delays too long. I think you need to make a zealot. Like 1 zealot and you pull 5 probes. I think that's the way to go. Party time, dropping another $50, man. Absolute madman. Thank you so much, Party Time, for another $50. It's absolutely crazy, man. Thank you so much. 30 to 30 minutes, yeah, this is a long game. But yeah, I think you need to make a zealot. That's because if you make a zealot, you're gonna get the hatchery down much quicker. You can expand it at a reasonable time. Like this just doesn't feel great now, does it? Like a Zerg is taking a 3rd base before you even have your natural started. It's like if you do this, make a zealot 100%. I think. Just looking at this, or you can do maybe a 2-gate. I'm not a big fan of 2-gate, but if you go 2-gate, you at least have some pressure, like 2-gate, zealots, and then chrono boosted depths. Maybe 1 base target even, I don't know. Not a massive fan of that stuff, but I think either of those has to be the response. Like now, it's just... Like, this has to be very bad. 3 minutes and what is it, 10 natural base. And not much pressure. Like we will see in a second what the worker count is. Okay, the Oracle gets quite a bit of damage done, that's nice. I guess it's a bit tricky for Zerg to defend all the bases. Like his worker count is kinda ass. Okay, got a couple more drones. It ends up being somewhat fine, I think. It's like usually Zerg pulls even or ahead around, I don't know, 45 or so. So it's actually not that bad. Worker count wise, I mean, your 3rd base is like 6 minutes or in or so, it's not amazing, but... you're probably a bit behind from the opening, even though you got quite a lot of damage on. I mean, 10 drones, it's pretty nice. And there's Zerg Status pool. It's like 3 hatch into pool. I don't know exact timing of that, but yeah. What about taking the third base? Very risky. Maybe it can work against 3 hatch into, or like hatchery, natural, hatchery blocking your base. Maybe, I don't know. I probably wouldn't recommend it. Can't say I tried it a whole lot. It's just a bit risky. Like, Protoss is not made to take bases in the middle of the map. Even with battery overcharge, I would not feel comfortable with that. With like link flats and stuff, so I don't know. Could work, but I'm not sure. Thank you, MyPox, for the sub. Yeah, definitely Zealot. 5 probes and a Zealot, probably chrono boosted. Then you get the hatchery down at the reasonable timing, send the Zealot across the map together with the Adept. And Zerg doesn't have the Queen out yet, I believe. So it's not that easy for Zerg to defend. They have to make a lot of Zerglings, and then you should be in a better spot. At least that's how I remember my go-to against this sort of hatchery block. Okay, what do we actually do here as a follow-up? We go blink. We've charged into blink, okay. Couple Archons. I mean, pretty normal follow-up, I would say. Zerg is playing Ravage Link Bane. Also pretty normal. 82 drones. It's like, yeah, like for example, if you just look at this, I mean, this is not looking good for Protoss, right? It's 9.5 minutes in, main base is mining out. Natural probably mining out in a couple minutes as well, or like half the patches at least. Like 9.5 minutes, 20 worker down, no fort base started. Decent army, but unless the Zerg attacks into this, probably not that useful because you can't really attack into the Zerg, and I don't know. And this game goes on for a long time, so let's just get through it a bit quicker. Yeah, I mean the Zerg, I don't know why he feels the need to attack into this. You should probably just, I don't know, get a hive and, or a spy or something, I don't know. But this is definitely a very bad situation for you, and most of that is probably from the early game. Look at my 66 journal in me. I mean, not quite, right? Not quite. What is his base, by the way? It's so far away. Thank you, Anka, for the 10 months. It's going to lurk on our offer for Ravaging Bane. Very interesting. Thank you for the 500 bits. I was a fat kid. I appreciate it. Like, this Zerg is making it very hard on himself to win this game, but game goes on for a long time, so okay, you get the base. It's like your fort base is just so insanely late, which is a real problem here. Your army is very powerful though. Like so many immortal against Ravager only, or Ravager only. I'm surprised you're not just winning here actually. And thank you for the gifted sub to Creamy UK as well. I was a fat kid. I feel like if the prism, do you have a prism? Ah. Like I think you can just win here if you have the prism here. You have the prism here, maybe warp some zealots in, or just micro the immortal, because I'm assuming they die now with their drones and stuff. Yeah, like you could just win the game on the spot here, if you have the prism with your army. The Archon warping was not the play. Like even Zealot would have been better. I mean, you probably were floating a bit of gas, but it just takes a while for that to be ready, and even just a couple of Zealots would be better here, or have the prism with the main base. Like you would have won the game right here. Okay. Like again, your bases are very late, so you're mining, like, this is half mined out, this is half mined out. So you probably already need another base at this point. But, I mean, you're winning 100% now. Although Lurker, okay, I mean... Lurker are decent defensively, for sure. So now, if you see Lurker, just make carrier. Really, like, yeah, in Robo Bay it's okay, but just make carrier. I would just make carrier here. His Lurker is good against ground, but once you get carrier, it becomes very difficult for the Zerg. So like, instead of this, just make carrier, like Fleet Beacon, 2 Stargates. You can stay on the map, make sure they don't just go across the map and siege you up with Lurker. And then you just get the carrier all. Zerg is gonna struggle because they need the Spire or something to have any chance, and Zerg is on 50 drones, so they're not gonna have the money for Corruptor. Okay, there's a lot of army here. Okay, now we're gonna wait for the Stargates. Yeah, this is what you want immediately when you see Lurker. What about Tempest? I mean, they're not terrible, but that's just worse than Carrier versus Lurker, I think. Okay, make a Carrier. Just set up a bit of static defense always. It just helps not to die. Couple cannons, couple batteries. Yeah, a bit more like this, you know, like every base should have a decent amount of static defense at this point. Okay. Yeah, not having High Templar in this case is not, like 6 Viper. Okay. Like really, ideally what you have is Carrier and High Templar. If you have Carrier and High Templar, this just doesn't do anything, really. There's no enter, there's 4 Hydras. Like now you get all your Disruptor pulled. Like, I mean, you're probably still winning, like... If you get a nice Carrier count up, you're probably still winning. Definitely still winning, yeah, definitely still winning. Just what's missing is High Templar. You always need High Templar. Storm is like insanely good against Hydras. Like Carrier plus High Templar, you're just never gonna beat this with Hydras. Unless you're Stefano and you have 3/3 upgrades at like 12 minutes into the game or something like that. I don't know. But like if you don't have High Templar, they can just pull the Carrier and then it's somewhat beatable. Okay, I'm making High Templar now. And it doesn't have 3/3. Like 3/3 Hydras have some chance if you don't have good air upgrades at least. You do have +2 at least, no, +3 on the way, so should be fine in that regard. It's really like you just need Storm. Do you have Storm now? There's no Storm. Get the upgrade. Here we go. Okay, we have Storm. She's struggling economically a bit, huh? 37 probes. You have like one strong A move in you. One or like A move plus Storm, I suppose. And large on buys. Here's a counterattacks because he knows he cannot fight your army. And what now? Do we have a base trade? I think you should have committed to the base trade, honestly. It's like, maybe, you know, I don't know, try to get some probes out into the corner and just commit to the base trade. Like, at least kill this. Actually, okay, maybe it's not that bad, because he's not mining that much. Although he does have this base now. I don't know, I would have probably just committed to the base trade, collect all the tech and all that stuff. But I guess you also didn't have any probes on the map. So I can understand. But surely we win this, right? 7 carrier? Oh, 3 packs, nice. I'm not sure where this shot are going. Observers, okay. Observers dead, we have no more detection. Okay, storm everything. Okay. No more interceptors. Oh no. 7 carrier and no interceptor? And no money. Okay, I mean... Yeah. I think the early game, as I said, 5 probes was a good response. Like, if you pull 5 probes quickly, it's very good. And then make 1 solid. Really, that's the only thing that was missing for your response. Other than that, it was a good... I think it was 5 what you did. As said, you could have won the game here earlier if you had the prison with your army. Don't go for the Archon warp in, just make some zealots, it would have been better. If you split up your prison from the main army, and once you see Lurker, just go carrier. Carrier and Storm, set up a lot of defense with cannons and batteries, and really you should have been fine. Play better than the Zerg? Yeah, probably. Like, the Zerg was winning. There was like 80 drones versus like 60. And like no fourth base for Protoss at like 9.5 minutes. So the Zerg were better initially, but then he kind of fucked up a lot. Alright. Nice game. We have one more. Ding da ding 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 dong. Predator against Parubi. Camera focus bad? Maybe. Sometimes it... Did it fix itself? Maybe just like the light is getting bad or something, I don't know. What about now? Let me see. Oh yeah, it's very bad. I might just have to... Can you focus please, camera? Let me just turn it on off. Oh no, now it fixed itself. Good camera. Alright, minimize this again. I think sometimes when the light gets bad, it just messes up or something, I don't know. Alright, PPT. Last game, then I'm gonna take a couple minute break and then I'll play like, I don't know, a ladder for a little bit. Don't really want to play a bit too much today because my hand is a bit messed up for some reason. That's why we're doing the fewer replays today. Alright, what did we do? Twilight maybe? What was the opening exactly? It's like, again, I feel like the Twilight's... Wait, did we go... Oh no, it's core before Nexus, okay. No, that's fine. Okay, Stalker. Second Gateway, Blink. Probably make a Robo. Why are we always skipping the Robo here? Did you scout anything? Okay, you scouted 111. What is Terran doing? That's a pretty weird build order. Okay, Adept gets pretty much all the intel and a little bit of annoyance for the Terran. Yeah, okay, I guess I can see why you skipped the Robo here. I mean, you see there's not gonna be a medevac job. There's gonna be some sort of push. Like seeing this, you could have probably known, or like I don't know if you know, but you should have known that this is gonna be some sort of push, because one Widow Mine into Tech Lab, and he scored your Twilight, so it doesn't really make any sense unless this is some sort of push. So you don't seem to realize what is going on. You saw the Tech Lab, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess technically they could still make bigger mines, but seeing this, you can just move up with your Stalker, I think. Because like the way you defend this is those Stalker need to be here, and then you need to kite the army all the way across the map. If you don't do that, you're gonna probably have a hard time, but let's see. Like there's just no need to have your Stalker here without your Scouter. Usually they would be at home, at least some of them, and you would see them move out. Okay, he's not moving out. I'm very confused by Paradox build order. That doesn't make much sense, but okay, he's going for a Liberator. It's like he should have moved out with the tanks and the Marines 100%. Like this just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in my opinion. And the Liberator on its own versus Blink, yeah, I mean it's not gonna accomplish much. Double Forge, again, I mean I talked about it earlier, it's a bit greedy, but it's playable. How many gates do you have? What is this? 4, 6, 7? I would go 8 gates always. It wouldn't surprise me if you float a bit of money. I guess you have constant immortal production, which is good. Stalker are annoying here. I mean, so far this is looking pretty decent for you. 2-2 on the way, 4 base. But this is a scary push now. Okay, cancel 4 base, I think that's good. See here again, it's like if you had the Prism here, and you played only one Fortune to Prism, like this space is just wide open. I mean, he has 2 Widow Mines here right now. There's like 2 Marauder popping, and the Prism would just win the game here already. So I would highly recommend to anyone who wants to play this sort of playstyle, maybe try 1 Forge and Prism. That's really, I think, much stronger than the double Forge stuff. I think maybe you can even make double Forge and Prism, but then you're like again. Okay, I don't know what this was. Running the risk of dying to a push. Can you do a prevision of who will qualify for DreamHack over the close qualifiers? Do they have the bracket for that already? I'll have a look after this one. Okay, this is like annoying to okay, this is actually very annoying to go in, because I was about to say against this you would probably want like a flank on the tanks or something, but then there's like 5 Widow Mines, so I don't know. This is annoying to push in, no doubt. And the typical, this is like Paradox signature move, I think. The double Liberator that no one else does. We lose like a lot of probes here. 20 probes down. I mean, yeah, it's very bad. You did get some content results, I suppose. Can we clean up the Liberator? He also does in TVT and TVZ. Like no one does except Braddock. Every time I play him, there's like 2 Liberator flying in here, and one siege up here, one siege up here. And if you don't have Stalker though, it's very annoying. It's probably just not very good because it's easy to clean up if you have Stalker at home, but yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised it's still a game, to be honest. I think it just shows how Paradox build order just is a bit, I don't know, not great, to say the least. And you have 2-2 by now, right? Yeah, 2-2 against 1-1, so that's... Like, you got away with the double Forge. To a degree, at least. I mean, you did take a lot of damage. But once you have 2-2 against 1-1, I mean, it's a good life. Okay. Everything unpowered. Okay, let's see how this goes. Yeah, this work count is really terrible for a while now. So I guess for me you just overrate. Yeah, like I would just give the same advice as in the other replay. Just try the one fort with the prism, and when they move out, drop the prism, drop zealots into the base, and hold at home with batteries and force field, stalker, immortal, and zealots if you have time for them as well. Did I actually winning this? And 2-2 is doing work here, man. Oh, he has 2-2 as well now. 3-3 almost kicking in. Actually very close, considering how many workers we lost. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's too much else to say. Maybe you can also have a bit more vision at the top. I don't know if you did that later on. I don't think you got into a bad spot whatsoever here. But this was like a bit nasty to clean up. Robo great second Robo. You can't really say much wrong about this. It was just this push and then with the Liberator. The Liberator killed 20 probes. Without that you're winning easily. And his jump by did a lot as well. I didn't even see that, but yeah. It's 9 kills and 6 kills, 15 kills. If you pulled a little bit quicker, you're probably in a very good spot. Like, let's say you survive this, I don't know, maybe you take, instead of 15, you take 5. Then it's, well, then it's still like 48 against 48. 3 base with a 3 base. I don't know. Predator is floating like 1500 minerals as well. It doesn't seem super amazing, does it? Yeah, I would just play the build differently, really. That's like the best advice I can give. I think double forge is just outdated, really. We used to play Final Fight, I have Templar Archive and Canton 3-3. Morph Archon and win? Maybe, yeah. I mean, it was very close in the end. I just think like double forge is a bit outdated. Like, you almost never see anyone play that anymore. And I think Prism is just way too good with this playstyle to not use. Either do the one forge Prism, Zealot job, or you do 4 gas and Storm. You can even play Storm with one forge as well. It's a bit greedy, but if you have good early game, you can get away with it. But the double forge, I don't know. Not a big fan anymore. Alright, enough talking for today. Now we play a bit of ladder, I think. What upgrade with the forge? Either works really. I think +1 attack might be better, because at home you defend with Stalker and Sentries and Immortal usually with the battery, and it's they benefit more from the attack upgrade than the armor. But really, like, armor works as well. Like, you have very beefy zealots. I think both is, like, you can make an argument for both, really. Both kind of decent. So yeah, I'm gonna take 3 minutes, guys, and then I'll play a couple ladder games, and yeah, I said not too much anymore, but I don't know, maybe 5 games or so. Not checking out the close brackets. Let me see. I don't know if I have a source for my browser even. What do we have? This one maybe? No, where's my... Ah. How does this look? I haven't used this source in forever. Maybe a bit... Okay, close qualifier. I think it's pretty straightforward, no? Okay, we start at the top. Harston versus Radko. Harston wins this for sure. Art versus Rail. I would go with Art. And then Harston wins this one. Stefano hate me. Does Stefano play still? I don't know. Like, this is pretty even. I don't know much ZVZ really. I would say hate me. For Jumi was sort of is Korea, I think, right? So he has to play on EU. And for Jumi is an absolute beast. Last time I checked. Absolute beast. I actually think, I mean on paper I would say sort of, but you know what, let's go Jumi for the spicy picks and then we go Jumi all the way, okay? Jumi qualifies. Absolute beast of a player. Cristiano Baby Marine. I think Cristiano wins. Fighting for Lilbo. I mean, Lilbo does not play anymore, right? I have no idea about either of those. I'm gonna go Fighting Frog, okay? Fighting Frog. And then Cristiano wins. We have 3 Protoss qualified. Only Protoss, probably. Akron Spatz. Spatz wins, I think. I haven't seen Akron in some time. I played his Protoss with my Zerg. But that's about it. I don't know about this turret really. I'm gonna go Spatz, but Vinny Goblin, I think. It's only gonna be Protoss, guys. And then Goblin with Spatz. Well, Spatz is dangerous in PvP. I'm gonna go Goblin, I think. He's like a little bit better, but PvP could be anything really. DNS, I guess Hopped. Definitely DNS. Soul Spirit Cars, no idea, probably Cars. And then DNS wins. Very confident about that one. I actually only have Protoss so far. I mean, Fortune was a bit of a meme pick. Although I think he has a chance. But I think he, like, probably sort of, yeah. But Protoss, most likely Zerg. Protoss. Milky Cow Rom. I think Milky Cow wins. Jacob with Shadow. I haven't seen Shadow in a long time, actually. Shadow. Usually I would go Shadow, but I haven't seen him forever. So, I don't know actually. Shadow. I don't know if he still actively plays a lot. I really haven't seen him forever. Let's go Shadow. And then Shadow is Milky Cow. Milky Cow is dangerous. I'm gonna say Milky Cow. Absolute beast of a player. Strange Dimaga, definitely Strange wins. Exostriker Ply. I haven't seen Ply playing forever. For obvious reasons. But Ply would be definitely favorite here, so I'm gonna go Ply. And then Strange versus Ply. I'm gonna say Ply. I don't know if he's played at all recently. Like, if he hasn't played, I think Strange wins, but if he Ply is a bit better than Strange, I think. Wouldn't surprise me Strange wins. And then Battle Big King Cobra. I mean, King Cobra, man. The guy is quite dangerous in PvT. I want to say Battlebee though. If Battlebee prepares for the way King Cobra plays, I think he wins. And then Iger Hellraiser, I think Hellraiser should win. And then Battlebee Hellraiser. Could go either way. I would say Hellraiser. Probably 50-50, but I want to say Hellraiser. So yeah. Many Protoss, really. I think I only predicted Protoss there for Milky Cow, Ply, and sort of, I think. Yeah, that's my take on it. Could go Igo away? I mean, who do you play Hellraiser? No, I mean, I would definitely go with Hellraiser there. Igo instead of Igo. Be cool if played as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it must, like, I think Playa lives in I think he lives in Kiev, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I mean, it's probably a very shit situation for every Ukrainian player right now. But yeah, like, I haven't seen Playa play in probably several months, really. He beats Zumag, and Zumag is basically hero, meaning Igo's best person in the world. Alright. You know if Hellraiser plays StarCraft in PvP? I have no idea. I only played Hellraiser in my Zerg lately. I have not played him with my Protoss. I think Hellraiser is 6-3 or so. He's also not super high. I think he also wasn't able to play for a while. Yeah, I mean, I guess he played a decent amount at least. I mean, Hellraiser usually is quite good, like 6-5, 6-6 easily. I don't know how he plays in PvP though. Proxy 3 get apparently. Sentry expand. I think Hellraiser plays like everything really. Baby. Alright, let's see if we can find some ladder games. Saul is in a custom game. $88 versus Protoss, 82 versus Terran. He played as a total of 4 Zerg games, wow. 4 ZVZs. He's inactive on Alikolag. You mean Ply? Yeah. Like I think even before Katowice, I haven't seen him play. He probably took quite a long break now. I'm probably not gonna play a whole lot. I don't know why, but I think I played a bit too much a couple days ago. My hand is really like hurting a bit, so I kind of just want to rest it today. Maybe tomorrow too. I don't know. We'll see. If you face a Terran, would you mind playing the stats Phoenix built into Colossus? I mean, I can try. I haven't really played like that for a long time though. I usually prefer Oracle into Phoenix these days, but I can try if I can get it together for one game. I practiced that build for Katowice 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. When I was in a group with Maru and Clem and one more Terran, I think Bjan. And I got completely shit on. And TY as well. Such a nice group back then. I remember TY and he knew I was playing Stargate a lot and Phoenix specifically. He just opened like freaking 3cc every game and I was just like, okay. It's not too much fun. Who is this? 6-6 Zerg? You know very well. Easy group, absolutely, man. Can't believe I lost back then. But not that many. Mar wasn't too bad of a Terran player. Ah, he's alright. Danke der Gairon. Danke dir für die 28 Monate. Grüße aus München. Danke dir. Grüße zurück. This already gives me like a laser or Lambo vibes, to be honest. 2 circlings only. Thank you to MC Bouch for the Prime. Oh, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, I had it. Fuck. Alright. Please. It was not a good early game for me at all. Oh, what the fuck? I thought it was back home already.
Of fate, the firstborn shall persevere. Receive guidance. An oracle perceives.
Yeah, this is not the dream start here. This kind of gives me Ply vibes now, actually. It's Ply, it is Ply. Making so many Zerglings. Just talking about Ply. Maybe that's just why I get Ply vibes here, but circling run by and everything that very Ply-esque. Oh, he's going Hydras.
You seek guidance? The enemy has discovered us.
Do I even want Blink here?
The threads of fate lie there. Let us begin. Our window is short. It is destined.
I return to serve.
An omen.
I forgot my Robo-Bear. I thought I had a Robo-Bear on the way.
You seek guidance?
I like for hire.
I see.
What is happening in this game?
Begin.
66 drones Hydra so far. I don't even know I have a Dark Shrine now. This base is, this game is a catastrophe so far. Hydra Bane. Can I get Storm out in time?
You seek guidance?
How did it feel?
Let us begin. You seek guidance?
Our minds
An omen. I see. Nas, the threads of fate lie bare.
I have met the end.
An errant.
we embrace the glory of battle. Base is under attack.
We meet our fate.
See, this is why you switch out your Adept for a Stalker eventually when you play against Banelings.
I return to serve.
So you don't have a Baneling run by into your natural.
Upgrade complete. We are alike. Mineral field. Noah Fury.
How do you want it?
Glory of battle. Glory of battle. Justice. We embrace the glory of battle. Has arrived. In you. I like the fire. Mineral field.
Plan here is to just kind of attack with carrier. Hydra Bane's not that great for transitioning into late game, although he got to it pretty well, I think. Mostly because my build was a mess.
We shall stand against the blood wolf we are. My charm will
Let's just walk into the base, I suppose. I think this is okay. Ultras? What the fuck? What a strange game. I need more immortal, otherwise my crown just dies too quickly. And I want the prism. Put some high template maybe. He doesn't have a lot of corruptor. Maybe I can just push.
We shall stand against the darkness.
I'm not really sure if I want to push. I don't know what he has exactly. Bunch of ultras. Okay, was definitely not a good idea. Push. In fact, it was horrible.
We are a light. Light.
Okay, we really just need to make a bunch of immortal before we do anything. Honestly, it's been a while since I played against this sort of late game. And I definitely know the Ply places, so I'm very certain this is Ply, no? Made like a bunch of bad move outs already.
My charge. We seek. We are the light of the power. My charge.
Annoying game.
My charge.
He probably made Brood Lords now, if I had to guess.
Our duty is unending. We embrace the glory of battle.
Man, he really committing to this.
Our mind. We seek enlightenment.
How can I aid you?
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, Brood Lords, my friend.
See,
Oh, he does.
Channel.
I need to make Tempest now. I need to get rid of some stuff. I'm not sure what exactly. I need like 2 more Tempests, otherwise I can one-shot Brood, or one more Tempest at least. Maybe some Pro. No, I'm only at 58 Pro. Man, Procon is good, but what do I can... I only have expensive units. Okay, I need to kill 2 pros maybe. I'll take an Oracle. Man, I need to just throw in some Immortal maybe? I don't know. I think I should just put on my probes here to mine this base out. Quickly. Probably want Disruptor as well at some point. Yeah, actually carry I don't want either. Perfect. Now I can make one more Tempest maybe. And an Oracle. No, I can't make an Oracle, fuck. Just make sure this goes up here. Yeah, let's just drop him and die to corrupt this one anyway. Disruptor would be nice against the Infestor. We get Observer speed. Maybe we get upgrades from my units here, huh? Wouldn't be bad. I don't really have the greatest army here, but I think he still has a lot of Brutal Notes. A lot of Ultras. You can have my carry, I don't want them anyway. Really what I wanna do is take this base and then just make a bunch of static there and then siege him. Thank you, can't stop me for the sub. That's kinda what I want here, I think. I did attack this base as well, but as long as he doesn't have it, it's fine. I might need more Voyages though. My arm is kinda shit, I think. Might be good for to just siege him up at the high ground here. That was pretty questionable by him. Do I have Blink?
The threat you seek guidance. How can I aid you?
Doesn't seem like he's making fruit lots, which I think is the only thing that can stop my army.
The threat
Okay, he remade ultras, a lot of them.
extrapolating strings.
I don't need to kill this base necessarily here. How many immortal do I have? 5? Ah, come on. We have so much of a bank, I think we can do this.
Let us
I'll just kill this base, although I can't really move through here because I
you seek guidance.
made a lot of gateways there.
The threads of fate.
I need to kill one of them.
This vessel
I think I win either way, but... Ultras... Oh, that's bad. Ah. Not clean by any means. I need to be more careful about the ultras. Ultra Corruptus is very good against no immortal. Or low immortal count. Like I made 2 attacks which are really bad. And probably would lose me the game against like a top level Zerg. Man, he's banking so much money. I missed the first fight. What is this one? This isn't really bad because I lost my High Templar. And I don't have enough Archon to support my carrier, and the Templar die. Like, this shouldn't work for him, I feel like. But I need more Archons. Yeah, I think this was already bad. I kind of underestimated his army a bit. I think it's Bly. He played like very much like Bly. Like if this account has like been inactive for a long time, then it's Bly. Yeah. Has to be. How many Archons do you want? As many as you can get. Ist das deine Mucke oder hörst du was anderes nebenbei? Nee, ich höre das, was ihr auch hört. Like I have like 8 Archons or so with that push. I should win. It's just like I didn't have enough against Banelings, so they got close to my High Templar and then the Corruptor wrecked me as well. At that point, do you bother storming first or straight to Archons? Well, I mean, you should storm, for sure. Because if you make Archons in the fight, they are not really gonna join the battle. And have much impact. Alright, Liquid Clam. It's a game for 7k? No, not quite. It's like an even match gives like 20 points or so. So we're both gonna be just short, whoever wins. Actually, he was like... Was he also 6970? Like, I'm definitely not gonna be 7k after this one. If I win. 7-3 with 7-2, okay, yeah. Like I think an even match gives someone between like 20, maybe 25 points, I don't know. Why did the probe not move down? Alright, I make my second pylon here then. Makes a bunky behind the middle land though. That would suck, no? I don't think he scouted actually. Oh fuck.
Glory to the Daemon. Faith, give us your command.
Okay, this is worth it then. Probe for a repo, I take. Got my warp gate.
The first war.
But it was a bit dumb to park the probe here for the Reaper to kill easily.
Yes, Executor. We glory to the Daemon. Najakar, Nina. Yes, Executor. Where shall we march?
Dimensional strings
Give us your Najakar. Najakar, Nina. Come back. Let your will be. To glory. We serve.
you seek guidance.
The first war shall persevere.
Extrapolate
What? How did the lock or not? Oh god. How did the lock on keep going on over the high ground? You're kidding me, man.
strings attuned.
Give us.
I guess it wasn't properly on the high ground or something, otherwise there's no way. This already sucks now. It was a terrible start. I don't know what he's doing even.
Let us begin. How can I aid you? You seek an omen.
Oh my god, I'm so dead. Yeah, they were just lost in the early game, really. Again, getting baited into committing my adepts and my oracle to kill marines. I really gotta stop doing that. Okay, yeah, they were just terrible early game. This makes just no fucking sense. Why does it stay locked on? It was on the high ground, 100%. Like, this is not high ground or what? Or because I'm attacking? No, like it should like, that's very weird, no? Or am I crazy? It just seems weird, man. Very weird. It probably wasn't properly on in the center or something, I don't know. It's like the same with Overlord sometimes. You have it on the pillar, but it's not on the pillar somehow. There was some absolute bullshit, if you ask me. Never lucky. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. Gotta rest my hand a bit. I think this exact high ground is tricky. It seems like it. Like it looks like it's high ground, but I don't think that spot fully hides it for some reason. I always found it weird, to be honest, that whole mechanic. Anyway, I'm gonna send you over to someone. Let me see. Maybe Roti. Yeah, let's raid Roti. Alrighty. When are you going to join Eintracht Spandau? I don't think they're interested in StarCraft. Also, I'm quite happy with Big, so. Unless they have some sudden interest in StarCraft and offer me something insane, it's probably not not happening. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the replay analysis. and maybe I could teach you a thing or two, hopefully. And yeah, I'll probably be back sometime next week. I'm not streaming tomorrow, I think, because there's a close qualifier in the evening, I guess. Probably like back on like Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye bye. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.